Okay, so now that we've talked about the spray tools and how you can make your website a little bit more dynamic, what I want to show you now is I want to show you how to create a online photo album using Photoshop. And you know, the one issue that you're going to have with the Photoshop is putting your template with it, but we can work around that. I'm going to show you some of the basics right now, and then we can play around with it and see how we can get that to work also. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to work with some files that were created in one of your other chapters. So what you can do is you can just go ahead and you can go to your class files. And I think the pictures are in chapter 17. And if you go to Assets and Images and T-Pics. So go ahead and just copy that folder and make it in a new folder for this week. Okay, because we want to go ahead and use these pictures in our photo album. You'll see they're different sizes, but for the Photoshop one, that doesn't matter. So then let's go ahead and go into Photoshop, and I want you to click on File and Automate and Web Photo Gallery. You'll see that you have some different options, and when you click on each one of those options, it'll give you a thumbnail of what it's going to look like. Okay, so you can take a look through. You can then go ahead and say you want it to be a folder and click Browse. Find the folder that you saved your files in. Okay, find my week here. And my T-Pics. Okay, so that's where my source, so that's where my pictures are. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab one of these flash galleries. Okay, and then I'm going to choose my destination and I'm going to create a new folder for it. And I'm going to call it Adobe Photo 2 and say OK. You do have some options for some different things that you can do. So if I click on General, it'll talk about the extension that I want it to be. If you choose Banner, you can change your title. This is what the title of your photo album is going to be. You can choose what size you want your large images to be. Okay. If you want the file size to be medium, what kind of titles you want to use. Okay. If you want your thumbnail sizes, if you want them to be small. You can also choose the colors that you want of your background. Okay, so you can choose some custom colors here if you'd want. You could have your template open and choose the colors. And then you've also got security. And you've got file name, titles, okay? And this is what you can choose as far as if how you want that text to be shown. Go ahead and say OK. And then it'll take a minute or two and it'll start working. Okay, and here is your Adobe Tea Gallery. Okay, so it's a very basic photo album, and you'll see that it is Flash based on the one that I chose. Okay, you are limited with some of the things that you can do with it, but to edit this, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to edit it in Dreamweaver. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open Dreamweaver. And let's take a look at the files that were created. If I look at my Adobe Photo 2, you'll see the files that were created. There are 3 folders: my images, my pages, and my thumbnails. Okay. Then you've also got Gallery Swift, Flash Object, if you remember, .js. You got Photo.js, User Selections, Gallery Configurations, and Photos. The gallery configuration and the photos are the 2 that you're going to want to take a look at so that you can do some editing. You can't edit it in Photoshop. So let's say open with, and let's go ahead and open it with Dreamweaver. Okay, so here's the information for your gallery. If you wanted to change your background color, your banner, your text, this is where you would do it here. You could change the name. Okay. And this is an XML page. If you wanted to add an image to your page, you could just go ahead and copy this, do a Control-C, and then paste it. And then you would just need to make sure that you entered the information. Okay. And you would also need to make sure that you created the actual images themselves also. So you need to make sure that you made thumbnails for this also. So that's how you could add images. So that is one of the drawbacks. But it's a nice way, a nice quick way to go ahead and get images out there on the web without having to do a lot of work. So that is one photo album that we're going to take a look at. And again, it may not work the greatest for you for this exercise we're doing for class because you have a little bit of, you can't put your templates with it as much. But it might be something that's useful to you in the future. We are going to take a look at another photo album that is a little bit more customizable, and then I'll show you some other resources as well.